It's a little bit thicker there. But I like thick jerky too. It's kind of a fatty vein through the middle of this, which is kind of annoying. Kind of cut it into jerky strips. I'm kind of cutting with the grain because that way, you know, it's just when you eat it, it'll be chewier if you cut it across the grain, basically. From what I've read. Again, not professional by any means, but it's pretty fun. And we'll find out if these are too thick or not. But I also just be a pain in the butt to cut them that thin. And they'll shrink a little bit when you put them in there. In the dehydrator, I mean. We might even do a couple even thicker ones just to kind of see how they end up turning out. That looks pretty good. Ooh, where's the camera? It's got like the dark meat on the inside and the fat there, but it's like lighter on the outside. It's quite pretty. It's like a marbled rye, is what it looks like. Alright, we're about halfway through the cuts, I'd say. I'm gonna do this though. So, see, this is all that fat bit. I'm gonna try and salvage something off the back here. And that'll actually be really thin too. Nice. Get some crispy pieces. Otherwise, I'm just gonna toss that. Oops. See how we can strip this up a bit. Smaller, thinner pieces here, just with kind of the excess there. It's possible that it gets better over time because I'll do a better job as I'm learning here. Just even in this one little session. Whoops. I know I've shown it to you guys a bunch of times, but I'm always kind of amazed by what it looks like. It looks really cool. And those thin strips. It's kind of a massacre. It's like this would be a really good steak just on its own. But we're trying it. That's definitely thicker. Look at that stringiness. I don't know if you saw that, but it just like ripped off. Usually do like a little shape to them, a little less square. Give them a little more depth. Alright, now what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to spin that around and put it in the bag. Do this in sort of 2 steps, you know. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, why are you washing your hands if you're just going to put your hands right back in there? Well, that's a great point. That's a very good point. It just makes me feel safer. It makes me feel more comfortable, like I'm not, I don't know, doing something bad. It gets confusing because you're technically like, you're not curing the meat, but when you're dehydrating, you're essentially curing the meat. So you're not like cooking it, which is weird. I mean, I guess you are cooking it technically. It's going up to 190 over the course of like 5 hours, but